markets, but teenagers now rack up 40 points, and toddlers under 12 now rate a big 70 points. The big score, anyone, any sex, over 75 years old, has been upped to 100 points. As always, how fast you move determines how long you live.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Thousands of South by Southwest festival goers are completely unaware that they are under an intense psyop as they make their way through the streets of Austin. What started as a place for bands to get exposure is now a joint mind control operation between corporations who are fighting to stay relevant and hip and the city of Austin, which rakes in millions in tax revenue.
And of course, there's nothing more trendy and hip and independent than General Electric sponsoring a barbecue pit. That's right, GE's Barbecue Research. And of course, throughout this barbecue pit, where General Electric sponsors it and puts their logo everywhere, you have even more compendium advertisement telling you to sign up for more things like Snapchat, where you'll also be hit with Google ads that track your location and steal your passwords. And also go ahead and sign up for their newsletter. Learn more about General Electric. It's cool and trendy because remember, it's all about targeting a new audience for these dying old companies and TV channels that have absolutely no subscriptions, absolutely terrible credibility, and they want you to buy their total garbage.
Here, the blueprint to create and sustain a mindless party culture industry is enabled by thousands of gullible attendees looking for a chance at stardom and the armies of volunteers looking to break into the industry. In order to break people out of their trance, we have focused most of our attacks on the blue chip corporation McDonald's.
Most of the ingredients in the food at McDonald's in America are banned in 19 other countries. Hey, guess what the source is for us knowing about GMOs in your food? McDonald's.com! Yay! Silicone might be good for your girlfriend or wife, but it's not good when you ingest it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm not loving it.
Which, in addition to giving away food containing estrogen mimickers, GMOs, and plastic-like cancer-causing chemicals, is subliminally attacking the subconscious mind with images of death, deformed, and diseased children. Here are some of the examples.
They tell you at McDonald's in downtown Austin, they show mutated, dead children with pus pouring out of their eyeballs and welts all over their bodies. Enter here at your own risk and doom. Come and drink from the well. Join us. But we must first warn them. We must first let them know before they have passed the gate.
These are the innocent victims of the Battle of Fallujah. These horrible birth defects and deformities were brought on by the use of depleted uranium bombs and shells dropped by the U.S. government.
Fallujah was bombarded by U.S. Marines in 2004. Iraqi doctors there have complained since 2005 of being overwhelmed by the number of babies with serious birth defects.
Well, don't you think radiated, mutated creatures, humanoids, I mean, that's a great way to advertise McDonald's, isn't it? You know exactly what all those animations looked like, the skulls, the rotten kids, the mutated people. It's the world after a nuclear war with mutants everywhere, and I guess that's part of the McDonald's promotion.
These types of birth defects are now showing up in the children from vets who serve there. But this is not just limited to McDonald's. The CIA has been using art as a weapon since the 1950s in a program called Long Leash. And now that the CIA is openly operating domestically, we can expect more attacks to our mind, body, and soul. McDonald's should be shamed for invoking death, disease, and deformity as something trendy. But by not speaking out, we have only ourselves to blame. Rob Dew reporting for Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
As a community moves towards despotism, respect is restricted to fewer people.
That's veteran Denver police officer Charles Jones IV smashing an unarmed suspect in the face 6 times.
Officers accused of using excessive force on a suspect and then trying to erase the evidence.
I'm observing what they're doing and they're arresting me. I don't understand what's going on.
A community rates low on an information scale when the press, radio, and other channels of communication are controlled by only a few people.
Does it raise ethical questions about the use of government money to produce stories about the government that wind up being aired with no disclosure that they were produced by the government?
How can you ask such a question?
What difference at this point does it make?
When a competent observer looks for signs of despotism in a community, he looks beyond fine words and noble phrases.
There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions.
What I say goes, see? I'm the law around here.
He came, he saw, he died.
Yes, in modern warfare, our military leaders are finding that words and ideas are highly effective weapons.
We just have to be repetitive about this. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
We are trained to deceive if we have to. You really don't have to trust me. You shouldn't trust me. In fact, by my actually participating in that, I will taint the news.
In communities of this kind, despotism stands a good chance.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Okay, Miss Youth, well, we're going to do everything we can to help you.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's the Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday, the 22nd day of March 2015. I am your host, Alex Jones. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of new, breaking, important news. One of the heaviest news days I can remember on a Sunday in a couple years. And I've been doing this Sunday broadcast for almost 8 years. So it's going to be a very big broadcast today, very important. That said, in the second hour, I was thinking about this last night, so I called some of my reporters and asked them to come in. Mikhail Thalen's here doing stories for Infowars.com on this issue I'm about to raise. Anthony Gucciardi, one of our other great reporters and researchers, is coming in because 2 years ago, or a little less than 2 years ago, it was Anthony Gucciardi and I who received the contact information from a trusted source. And you notice the Air Force Base at Dyess never denied it. You notice that all hell broke loose in the news in the next 2 days. And you notice you didn't see the media come out and demonize me and say that I was a liar. And, of course, I'm talking about missing nuclear warheads from Dyess Air Force Base. In fact, guys, will you print me the missing nuke case from Minot, 2007? Just give me a Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Associated Press, just something to wave in front of the camera and show people the headlines. Because when I mention this, people don't even believe that happened. So things that are admitted, I can't get the public to admit went on. Now, do you think I was happy to come on air and say that we got a call? We're going to go over the date when it happened, the background, all of it, because there's now new developments on this front. And the news blackout that was basically ordered on this is now been lifted. Because believe me, don't you think Media Matters that writes about us every couple days, run by the White House, don't you think MSNBC that attacked me that I know of more than 10 times last week on 6 or 7 different shows? I was in a restaurant and they had it on without audio, and I saw Alex Jones Friday night on the ticker at the bottom. I was talking to one of my neighbors, and they said, oh, I saw you like last Tuesday they were attacking you. My point is, don't you think they'd be attacking us if they hadn't been told to shut up? Please put the article back on screen you just found for new listeners. And for TV viewers, Infowars.com/show if you want to see the feed, the free feed. 2007 United States Air Force nuclear weapons incident. United States Air Force nuclear weapons incident occurred the 29th, 30th of August, 2007. 6 AGM-129 ACM cruise missiles, each loaded with a W-81 variable yield nuclear warhead, were mistakenly loaded on the United States Air Force, U.S. Air Force B-52 heavy bomber at Minot Air Force Base and transported to Barksdale Air Force Base. The nuclear warheads and the missiles were supposed to have been removed before taking the missiles from their storage bunker. The missiles with the nuclear warheads were not reported missing and remained mounted to the aircraft at Minot and Barksdale for a period of 36 hours. And we have sources that were at the base where it landed, and we know the whole inside baseball on that. And we knew it was 6 warheads, not 1, for a year until they had congressional hearings, and then 6 came out in the news. My point is, we don't make stuff up. We make mistakes sometimes. And, you know, a regular news show would just come on and say, we have new developments on missing nukes. And then we'd go into that. But I want you to understand how I think about things and what I see going on. There has been no coverage of this except for record firings of basically the entire command, Army, Air Force, you name it, over the nuclear forces. They've basically fired everyone from the top down and replaced them with super creepy Obamanoids. And we've done a bunch of special reports on this, looking at each new general they would put in. And, I mean, you're talking about dangerous globalist people that are known to be anti-gun, anti-freedom. There's been a coup over this country. And the missing nuke story ties into all of this. And I'm not talking about Minot 2007. I'm talking about Dyess Air Force Base 2 years ago. So we're going to spend the entire second hour on this. You need to tell your friends and family to tune in, because if we can get attention to this, we can hopefully stop whatever they're planning. All we know is that since the 80s and the treaties with the Russians, they supposedly took the nukes out of Dyess. Then nukes in bunkers were removed. Compartments were opened up, secret compartments basically. Base security didn't even know they were there and thought they knew everything. They were loaded on civilian trucks and not transported to Pentax to be dismantled. That's the biggest nuke dismantling facility in the U.S. There's only 3 of them, but it's the biggest. It's very close, 60, 70 miles away, I guess, as the crow flies. They didn't go there. They got sent to the East Coast. And I will tell you that the base police, they had private police there, had their guns out and said, no, you're not driving off the base with this. We inspect everything that leaves here. There was a standoff for an hour, and then the base commander came out and ordered them to stand down and sign papers that the police demanded he sign, at least that he was ordering it, because he didn't want to give it in writing. And we had this from the base, folks. Multiple individuals. Once we learned of it, we contacted other sources, and they said, yeah, and don't call me on the phone about this. The source, known very well to us, has not talked to us since and will not talk to us. But they're the ones that called us, used the telephone, and yeah, they clearly tracked it back. The base would not deny what went on. Now, people say, well, what's going to happen? The new news is they've had Bloomberg, Daily Beast, I don't know, it was 6 national publications as of last night. I'm sure it's more today. Come out and attack yours truly and say that I'm basically saying, well, here's the Bloomberg headline. Whoa, if true, Obama's secret plan to nuke Charleston, South Carolina. All we did was report to you